Hello and welcome to another edition of Resources for Life TV at resourcesforlife.com. My name is Greg Johnson, and this is a brief video in the series of videos on the benefits of either renting a car or using a taxi cab service instead of owning your own vehicle. Something came to mind today that I thought would be worth sharing, and that is that as you have access to a rental fleet, which is what I've always compared this to, is, you know, the cost of renting a car, let's say, and I use Enterprise as an example. These aren't paid commercials. This is just me talking. I mean, I suppose the same experience would be true with Hertz or whoever else is out there. But as you rent a car, you are not, it's not fair to compare the cost of renting a car with the cost of, you know, owning a car, which that alone is saving you money. For example, Enterprise has a weekly, it's every week usually, a weekend special that's about $10 a day to rent a car. So you can have a car for the weekend for about $30, assuming your current insurance covers the vehicle. I pay about $12 more because my credit card only covers part of the insurance. But anyway, bottom line is, you know, if you can have a car for, let's say, $10 or $20 a day for a few days to get your errands done, and that's going to run you, let's say, a couple times a month, at most 4 times a month, $120 or something, you're going to come out ahead. That's, you know, much cheaper than paying for parking and, you know, car payments, maintenance, all that type of expense that you'd have with owning a car. But not only do you get access to relatively new vehicles. I think I'm going to look at the key here on this one. This is a Ford 2009, low miles. You're constantly driving around relatively new cars, so they're reliable, they're comfortable, they're quiet, there's not like squeaky, rattly things going on. It's cheaper, but you also get access to an entire fleet of vehicles. You know, a lot of people I know have not just one car, they have 2 cars or maybe 3 cars. And when I talk to them, we discuss the reason for them having 3 cars, and it makes sense. You know, it really does. They sometimes need an around town car. You know, something small, preferably. You know, big vehicles don't do well with lots of starts and stops, whereas a small car can get some pretty good fuel efficiency in town. So if it's an around the town car, small is a good thing. If you're going to be making the long road trip, though, you know, on the highway, a mid-size car like this is a Ford Focus, 30,000 miles on it. The average miles per gallon that it's reporting right now is 31.4, so about over 30 miles to the gallon. And most of that's probably highway miles. I just picked up this car from Enterprise. But anyway, the point is, when you're doing the long road trip, a tiny car that's going to be kind of noisy and rattle around and bumpy on the road, that's going to get kind of tiring after a while. For around town, the tiny car is fine, but on the longer road trips, you're going to want a mid-sized car like this one. But there's another kind of vehicle that you might want, and that is if you have a lot of people that you want to carpool with, or you need to pick up some things from the hardware store, like Menards, or some large item from the store, the mid-sized car probably isn't going to cut it unless you know somebody who's got a pickup truck or something. There are a lot of folks that just own these larger kind of like SUVs for that reason. You know, they've got big stuff they need to haul around. So we're not really talking about the cost of owning a car versus the cost of renting a car at roughly $30 for the weekend. What's the cost of owning 3 cars versus whenever you want, at your whim, you can have whatever car you want? Enterprise, and as I say, these other rental companies as well, they have these huge fleets of cars. So what you're getting for your $30, I'll say $30 a week, let's say, $120 a month, is you're getting access to, let's just start with those 3 cars, tiny car, mid-sized car, and truck. You're getting access to that as if you owned them, as if they were parked somewhere. Well, parking in downtown Iowa City is about $80 a month. Multiply that times 3, and multiply, you know, car payments at like $300 a month times 3. You're going to save like probably $800, $900, $1,000 or more per month just by renting a car when you need it, whenever you need it. So And combined with this fact, kind of an environmental side note, I read that zip cars, these are short-term rental cars, you might have heard of these. They're called zip cars. You can go to zipcar.com, I think. They have little maps that'll show you where all their cars are. For each zip car that is in use by a customer, 15 to 20 vehicles are taken off the road. It's like, I just pulled up at the laundromat here. Probably for every washing machine in a laundromat, that's like 20 washing machines that don't get purchased. So there really is something to be said for the sharing of resources in a community that has a wonderful impact. I guess not a wonderful impact, but a better impact on the environment, lower negative impact on the environment. It has a positive impact on people's finances. I'm renting the car, using the laundromat. That's a lot less clutter in my life. And you really end up having a better quality of life. I'm able to rent, $20,000, $30,000 vehicles at I've got Enterprise on the speed dial, like whenever I want, whatever I want. They come and pick me up, I don't even need to call a cab. It's pretty nice. And anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there as a thought and just kind of add it to the collective conversation that's out there about shared resources and about renting cars and using taxis in general. I thought it was worth mentioning. So if you have any other insights into benefits of renting or things that you've thought about along these lines, let me know. I'd be glad to respond by email or video. Take care.